To be walking through those doors at 6:15. It all depends how long it takes to get from the parking lot up here. So, this is the plan. We were thinking of having his great grandkids and his grandkids and some of his family, some of the younger cousins or nieces and nephews to kind of stand on that side by the door. And then when he opens the door, we all gonna say, surprise. But we're not gonna yell it too loud because he is 100 years old. I mean, we have to yell it loud enough so you can hear, but we don't wanna give him a heart attack. So, if the family, I'll come up on stage. Sid is driving him up here, so he's supposed to text me when he parks. And then we'll get all in position, and then we say surprise, and then we sing happy birthday as he makes his way through the crowd and comes to his seat, and then we'll start. Surprise! Okay, how about a nice round of applause for our guest of honor, Ralph Inouye. Well, good evening and welcome to Ralph Inouye's 100th birthday celebration. Congratulations, Ralph. There are some interesting facts about our guest of honor that some of you may know or may not know. He's been arrested. He's hung out with Duke Kahanamoku. He's ran for office. He's worked for a furniture company and a painter. He's even taken gymnastics class when he was in his 80s. He also shot pool with the late Senator Dan Inouye. And if you asked Senator Inouye, when he was alive, he would say that even with one arm, he would beat Ralph up in pool. Before we start, I have a few housekeeping items. The nearest bathrooms to this ballroom are located out these doors to the right. When you get to the elevator, it will be on the left-hand side. That's both men and women. I'm told the women is just one stall, so there's another women's restroom downstairs as well. If you are going to smoke, both regular cigarettes or e-cigarettes, the smoking area is downstairs on the Mauka side, and that's for both types of cigarettes. The valet parking is, the machine is right outside at the reception desk, so please make sure you validate your parking. At this time, I would like to call up Mr. Wes Mikuni to give a quick invocation and get us going here with dinner. Thanks, Wes.
Good evening, everybody. Some of you, or most of you, may know that Ralph is not technically 100 years old yet. His birth certificate says that he was born on September 1st. And that happens to be my birthday too, September 1st. I was really stoked when I met Ralph. But Lance pointed out that that's not his real birthday either, because back in those days, when he was actually born in July sometime. I forget what the date was, but it took the family a while to actually register him with the state. So in any case, we are celebrating the start of his 100th year on this planet. And a birthday is God's most precious gift. It's a gift of life and love, time to be conscious of God's blessings. And it's a day to spend with special friends and family, and a day of celebration. So on this most happy occasion, let us bow our heads in prayer. God, our beloved parent, we're gathered here this evening to celebrate a most auspicious occasion, the 100th birthday of Ralph Sachio Inouye. And as we, the friends and family of Mr. Inouye, pay special tribute to the significant role he's played in nurturing his loved ones, we realize that his accomplishments were made only possible through your countless blessings and guidance, for which we are deeply grateful. Like a single seedling bearing fruit to the many grains of rice, through your divine providences, Ralph's sincere efforts has given birth to the joy and prosperity of Ralph Inouye Company, and we are truly thankful. As we reflect on our blessings, which are now ever so vivid, we take a moment to consider with profound compassion our brothers and sisters throughout the world who are few blessings to count. Those challenges continue to overwhelm them, and humbly ask that you bring to their hearts a touch of love with a lasting faith for a better tomorrow. We thank you for the food we will now partake of, and humbly ask that its nourishment allow us to live your hope for the joyous life with peace on earth and goodwill to humankind. Namo Tendio Namikoto, and Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wes. The great chefs here at the Halekulani have prepared a wonderful dinner for us all. Please wait until the banquet captain, Barry, who is right there, calls on you to go to the buffet line. Buffet line is right out here to my right. Please enjoy dinner, and I will be back to further recognize our honored guest. Thank you very much. Thank you all for participating in the surprise. Thank you, Sid, for getting him here and texting us, and everything worked to perfection. So thank you guys all, and enjoy. Okay. If you guys can all take your seats, we'll start the formal program for this evening. If we could all maybe get a round of applause for Barry and the wonderful staff here at the Halekulani. The food was delicious. World famous coconut cake was excellent. Ralph, if you could maybe meet us by the cake. I'll have your great grandkids maybe come up and help you blow out those candles. I told Barry, our banquet captain, we wanted 100 candles, but we thought better of it, and maybe we just put 10. So if Ralph's great grandchildren can come up and help your great grandfather blow out his candles. Ralph, you want to go up there too? So for all of you that don't know, Ralph still comes in every morning to the office. He has his pastries. He has his cup of coffee with lime juice in it, which I still don't understand, but that is his habit. It must be working because he's 100 years old. And this past June, we had a very, very busy bidding season estimating projects for Ralph Inouye Company. So Ralph pulled his weight, and he did his share of projects. But some of the projects are due at, or bids are due at 4:30. And so Ralph doesn't want to stay in the office till 4:30, so he asked me to finish one of the bids for him. And so I finished it, and I looked at his number, and it looked like he forgot this and he forgot that. So I put all of this extra money in. And of course, we weren't low, and we didn't get the job. So the next morning, he comes in, and he sees that we weren't low, and he looks at what he did. And boy, at 99 years old, he still gave me some mean scoldings for messing with his bids. So he's still very active and sharp. I need to remember that when I assign him projects. Number one, make sure it's not due at 4:30 so I don't have to get in trouble. And to remember that he's still one of our best estimators. So in fact, he did catch one of our most recent jobs that's starting up at the university. So he's doing something right by still coming in. Are we ready, Marion? Shall we start to sing? Okay. On three. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Try chocolate. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday to you.
We are all here for a really, truly special celebration. Ralph S. Inouye was born on July 19th, 2015, as Wes had said earlier, in Kunia. However, on his birth certificate, it does say September 1st, 1915, because it took about that long to get the news to Honolulu and record it. He's the second child to Naka and Tsurugi Inouye. And he lived in Kunia along with his brother Larry and sisters Fusai and Leatrice. He went to Kunia School. Ralph, you can sit down. I'm not going to make you stand up. Ralph, sit down, sit down. He went to Kunia School and then on to Lelehuo High School and is a 1933 graduate. He then went on to the University of Hawaii College of Engineering and graduated in 1937 with a civil engineering degree. He then went to work for the federal government at Pearl Harbor. And then in 1941, on the Sunday when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, Ralph showed up for work the next day on Monday. And his supervisor told him, you better go home, because he was worried about Ralph being a Japanese American. But Ralph decided to go back to work on Friday, and that's when he was arrested. And he was taken to the Bethel Street Jail, where he spent the weekend. His parents didn't know where he was, but on Monday they did release him. And that's how Ralph was arrested. He had Lance and Cindy with his first wife, Nancy Hosaka, who passed away in 1944. And then he went on to Boston College and earned a JD law degree in 1950. He returned home and he worked as a lawyer both on his own and for a law firm. And then he also ran for the Board of Supervisors, which back then we weren't a state yet, and it was similar to what the city council is now. He advanced past the primary but lost in the general election. He was then appointed building superintendent by then Mayor Blaisdell. And when the city was looking to build some prisons, he toured the country with Duke Kahanamoku, who was then sheriff of Honolulu, to research the prisons. So that's how Ralph got to hang out with Duke Kahanamoku. Eventually, he bought Veteran Home Builders in 1963 for $50,000, which eventually became Ralph S. Inouye Company. And he's been working for Ralph S. Inouye Company ever since. So, congratulations, Ralph, on being 100 years old. Ralph has been married to my Auntie Hideko for over 60 years. Auntie Hideko, congratulations as well. He has 4 children. They both have 4 children: Joanne, Lance, Cindy, and Sid, and 7 grandkids and 9 great-grandkids.
Okay, Grandpa, on behalf of all your Inouye grandkids and great-grandkids, we wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Wanted to just say a few words of maybe some stories that maybe Mike's going to talk about later, so maybe stealing the thunder. But you know, some of the things that we remember you for, and for your ability to get to this point has been, you've always said to be active, whether it's, you know, physically or mentally, going to work every day, driving all the way until 99 years old, when maybe some other people may not have wanted you on the road, but you stuck with it. You know, your ability to stay up to date with technology. I think you probably taught my dad how to do spreadsheets back in the day. And we're just all very proud of you, and we thank you for all that you've done for us as grandkids and great-grandkids, and just being the inspiration that you are in work and in life in general. So we just wish you a very happy birthday and many more to come. Congratulations, Grandpa.
Thanks, Blake. And now if I could get Lance and the rest of your brothers and sisters to come up to say a few words.
Anyway, while Cindy comes up, as Mike said, my dad had 4 children. Cindy is the oldest. I guess I'm second, and my sister, sorry she couldn't make it, Joanne, and Sid, baby. So I'll let them. You want to say a few words first?
All right, I guess the youngest goes first. Thank you all for coming, and it's hard to put in a few words what's happened over the last 100 years for my dad. All I can say is he's been a tremendous role model for me, my family, and I think we can see the influence that he's had around us, and it's been really an honor to be his son and to watch him and what he does. And I can't thank him enough in terms of what he's given me by just watching what he does. And he's been a role model to me, and it's been really an inspiration for what I've done, and I really want to thank him for that. He grew up in the Depression. He's emphasized education and exercise. They've made a lot of sacrifices. I'm sure that my brothers and sisters can attest to that for us. They sacrificed a lot to send us to the best schools to get the best education. I really appreciate that, and it's been really wonderful growing up under his tutelage. He's been a role model, but not one that is demanding or expected a lot of us. He really led by example. I think a lot of people can share in that, and that's I think the lesson that I've gained from him. So I really appreciate that, and I really want to thank you, and thank you for these the years that we've had to look at you as a role model. And then one last thing, the story of the lime in the coffee. The lime in the coffee came from his years at Boston College. When he was up there, he was going to law school, and coffee, I believe, was 5 cents. If you got cream with it, it was another cent, and he didn't want to pay for that. Lime was free, so that's where he started drinking that way, and that's how he got that. Thank you.
I just found out that I got to say something about Dad. So I thought about growing up. After he got back from law school, he as a single dad brought me to live with him in town from Cunha, where we live with my grandparents, me and Lance. And he only brought me, not you. And I guess you were too young, maybe. And he enrolled me in Mother Rice preschool, and I remember going to Ka'ahumanu, I think, elementary school as a single dad. And he would pick me up and take me to school. He was working as an attorney, I think, at that time. And I had asthma. I was kind of sickly, I guess. And he would pick me up. One time, I guess he had to pick me up from school because I was sick. And he took me to the doctor. And after that, he would take me to Ben Franklin. At that time, Ben Franklin, Jane, Auntie used to work there. And he would let me choose a toy. I still remember a particular day when it was raining, and he took me there, and we picked a coloring book and crayons. That's one of the things I remembered. I also remembered when he was still single, and he was taking Dale Carnegie courses, and he always said what he learned was to always listen instead of talking. Always talk about the other person rather than yourself. I remember that. And I also remember him taking dancing lessons and practicing with a broom. That was at Date School, Date Street. Then we had Mom there, and I remember going to Alamona Park after work, and she would make for us a barbecue meat, and Dad would swim laps along Alamona. I guess Alamona, what do you call that? Alamona, the beach park anyway. He would take laps there, and we would have dinner there with barbecue meat and musubi, hot dogs. I still remember that. One time I tried to do that with my daughter, but it didn't work. Anyway. I also remember going on vacations. I don't know. I think that was before you were born, Sid. I'm not too sure, but we would take vacations, Mom, and we would go to Big Island. I remember the Big Island one time, having breakfast and stuff. And as we were traveling, I remember getting a fight. I hope you can hear that. With my brother Lance over. As we were riding, I think going from maybe Hilo to Kona, fighting about, he was so in love with Sandra D. Jill. And I was kind of cutting him down about it, and so we were fighting about it in the back seat. You remember that? I also remember him writing me letters when I went to University of Denver on yellow legal type paper, those yellow line papers. And to tell you the truth, his handwriting hasn't changed at all. It's still the same. I can still recognize his handwriting. But these are things that I kind of remember of him. I was just told, and I thought that would be kind of nice for him to hear this. He was always there for us. He always said, he said, he's never just tell us what to do. He always said that he never gave us advice. He always said that unless he's asked, he's not going to tell us what to do. I guess he felt that he raised us good enough. And just a couple things that I still remember him saying. I think this was from Kennedy. He says, don't worry about things that you cannot change, but do something about something that you think you can do something about. I mean, I'll never forget that. He's always, I think he said that once, and because maybe I was bothered about something, I don't know, can't remember what it was, but I remember him telling me that. So I think that came from Kennedy though, but he always said that. Remember, don't worry about things, don't worry about it. Life is too short. Just spend your time, in other words, just precious time on something that you can do something about rather than something that you can't change anyway. Thank you. Thank you, Dad. I love you.
Well, I think Cindy and Sid probably said it all. Cindy actually stole some of my thunder, but I was just going to tell a couple things. One thing is something that Cindy remembers too. You heard his life story from Mike, and by the way, thanks, Mike, for doing this all the time. And but as busy as he was, the thing I remember most was when I was sick, he would lay down so that I had a good night's rest, make sure I went to bed okay. And then when I was sick, most kids don't like to go to the doctor, and at that time, the remedy for any doctor was, oh, can I hear? Remedy was getting a penicillin shot, right? And nobody wants to get a shot, but I didn't mind going because, as Cindy has said, every time you get a shot, you get to go to, and I was going to say something like Longs, but now she said Ben Franklin, and we got to choose a toy or a coloring book or anything to get us going. So he would take off from work and take us to the doctor, brought us back, and made sure we had something to do. Fast forward to now, he claims he can't, well, he's not really good at hearing, but he claims he's forgetful and all that, but he's way better than me at naming, remembering names. He forgets, but I tell him, hey, at your age, you're really good at it. And you know what that shows is, somebody told me, is that he cares for people. That's why he tries to remember people's name. So, you know, and, you know, to the credit of guys like, people like that have come, Rex Kawasaki while my dad was golfing, and Iko Takeda, who he has breakfast with every Saturday when they're both in town. His mind is sharp. So you want to know about stock market and things, he's right on. And they claim they feed, you know, I mean, Iko says it's my dad, and my dad says it's Iko, but these guys feed on each other. And that keeps his mind sharp. And as you know, about May of this year, he finally stopped driving, which is something I'm glad about. But so every now and then I'll pick him up at home and bring him over. And I still ask him for advice. And like Cindy says, if he's asked, he'll give it, and he gives some really wise advice. And I apologize to those who I yell and scream at at times, but he's as you know, he's really calm, cool. I'm not like that, and I still gotta learn from him. But anyway, he's 100, or in Japanese years, he's 100 years old. But you know, happy birthday, Dad, and I'm sure you're gonna be living a lot, or having a lot more birthdays to come. Thanks a lot. Thanks all for coming.
Thanks, Lance, Cindy, Auntie Cindy, and Sid and Blake. Ralph, if it's okay with you, do you think you can come up on stage? Okay. And if I could get Eugene Kanashige to come up on stage. Maybe Eugene, if you can help Ralph get up on stage here. If all of you guys could grab a glass, Eugene is going to lead us in a toast. Maybe if we could all stand up as well. Not yet. Eugene will say something.
My turn first.
Eugene first.
Can I say something before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eugene's first.
Okay. I don't have anything written down because I just was asked to do this. But I want to say something before I make the toast to Mr. Inouye. I worked for him for 37 years. And I can remember the first time when I went there to apply for this job. I went in the office and I went to meet with Mr. Inouye, and I talked to him. Then when he asked me, what school, I see he went to Lelehua High School. And I said, yeah, I went to Lelehua, and Mr. Inouye went to Lelehua High School too. So he said, oh, okay, so when can you start? He said, so I said, oh, wow, I can start tomorrow. Then he said, okay, go down and meet my brother, go see my brother Larry. You know, he's gonna tell you what to do, you know. And I worked for him for 37 years, and this is the best boss anybody could ever find. You know, I mean, anybody could ever have. And even Mrs. Inouye, you know, whenever they have problems with their car, they call, they wouldn't say, hey, when can you fix my car? They would say, whenever you have time. It's always the first words out of their mouth. Whenever you have time, can you check this? Can you check that? You know, they never did tell you, I have to fix this, or you have to fix this, or whatever. It's always, whenever you have time. You know, I always remember that. And Mr. Inouye and Mrs. Inouye, you know, they're really terrific people. That's what I want to say, you know. So I want to make a toast to our honored guest over here. No. You I'm not good at this, but this is the first time I do it. I want to say banzai 3 times. So everybody put up their glasses. Banzai! 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 Happy birthday, Mr. Inouye.
Thank you. After those fine words by so many people, I don't know what to say. When you get to be my age, you don't say too much because, for one thing, your memory not too good. Everything is not too good. You physically, you hardly get up the steps, and in that regard, I wanna give you one advice. Don't give up, because you have to do it. You have to walk. You have to do it. If you don't do it, you're gonna lose it. So keep it up. Whatever you do, don't give up. I've been, 100 years, almost 100 years. I have so many friends. I'd like to thank all of them for their help. If not for their help, you won't be able to get where you are. Your friends are the ones we should thank and honor, because they're the ones that get you wherever you are. So don't forget your friends. What did I say now? I said, if you, I always tell my friends this: if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. So keep up, don't give up. For one thing, my memory, I didn't realize so many people, so many friends there. A lot of you, maybe I forget your name, but please forgive me. Because for one thing, my memory is pretty good, but not that good. What do you want to? So I try to do whatever I can. When we came over, my kid picked me up. Said, we're gonna give you a birthday party. I thought we were going to a restaurant have I was really surprised. How many people here? I can't count. So some of you, if I forget your name, forgive me. I'm not that young. So, Mike, I want to thank all of you. Before I sit down, I want to thank all of you for helping me get to be 100 years old. Thank you.
Sit down right here. We got a couple gifts to give you. Yeah, this chair right here. This one there. This chair right here. Sit down right here. Okay, thank you a lot, Ralph. We have a couple of gifts to give you, so if you could just stay up on stage. I'd like to call up Herbert Inouye to make a special presentation.
You know, every morning when I go into the office and I see Ralph, you know what the first thing he tells me? I'm getting old. But Ralph, you are a 100-year-old young man. This is some cards in here. I wrote something to say. Happy 100th birthday, Uncle Ralph. We all are very happy to be celebrating this auspicious day with you. You have been a stellar role model, and your philosophy of working hard, respecting all individuals, and importance of family have influenced all of us who call you Uncle Ralph. We have made a $2,000 contribution to UH College of Engineering, Civil Engineering Department to honor you on your 100th birthday. We wish you many more years of continued good health. Much love from all of us, the Nishimura family, Fukushima family, and the Inouye family.
I'm sorry, you guys can all be seated too, sorry. Okay, next I'd like to call on Marion for the gift from the, Marion. Cheryl has vertigo. You gonna make her climb up these steps? Okay, just come on. If Ralph can make it up these steps, what did he say? You don't use it, you lose it.
No, he always says, don't get old. That's right.
Okay, so we have this gift. We want Ralph to open it now, or have someone open it now? Okay, can we get a couple of the kids to come up here and open this gift for Ralph? So as they're opening it up, I'll tell one more story about Ralph. Recently, he stopped going to the YMCA, where he used to religiously go several times a week to run and exercise. And one day he fell down, I think it was in the locker room, and he refused to go in the ambulance because he didn't want to have to, he knew he was going to check him into the hospital. Okay, so I'll finish telling the story and I'll explain to you this gift. Marion, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so one thing about Ralph that we all know is he's a very frugal man. And I'm sure that's a secret to long life as well. And so if you notice the shoes that he's wearing right now, as far back as I can remember, and I've been working for 15 years, he's had the same shoes. And he wears these shoes to work, or to dinner like this, or wherever he goes. And so we decided to get him the same pair of shoes, just the newer version. You see this jacket he's wearing? He's been wearing this jacket for quite some time, whether it's in the office or to work or out. So we decided to update him a bit with another jacket that looks similar. But this one does have Ralph S. Inouye's company logo on it. So congratulations to Ralph. Anyway, to finish the story, he injured he had a black eye. I mean, it looked really, really bad. But instead of staying home, he comes into work the next day. I mean, doesn't miss a day of work. I mean, it's like he got into a bar fight, he looks like. And he's like 98 years old, and he walks into office, and I look at him and I thought, how can anyone in this office call in sick when the 98-year-old chairman of the board comes in with a black eye? It's just amazing. So, Ralph, I hope you enjoyed your gifts, enjoyed the party. We're about to the end of the formal presentation.
It's a surprise for you.
We planned it in the office, Ralph.
Thank everybody for coming.
Okay. New shoes on Monday, please. New shoes on Monday. We'll get the old ones cast in gold. and we'll put it up on in the office. Okay, well, before we close, I just wanted to thank, obviously, Ralph S. Inouye Company, all of its employees, especially Marion, Susie, Cheryl, Ed, and Jason. You know, we've been really, really busy recently. All of us have been really, really busy, and this party just magically happens because of their hard work. So thank you again very much. I'd also like to thank all the family and friends that were able to come. We're going to give away the centerpiece, correct? Okay, so we could give it away to whose birthday is closest, but we really don't know when his birthday is, right? I mean, debatable. So I'm thinking, because you are 100 years old, that whoever's age is closest to 100, you can take the centerpiece with you. To show you the talent that we have at Ralph S. Inouye Company, those wooden bases were not bought at a store. They were made in-house by John Rabanal and a few of the other guys in the shop. And it was finished by Ray Assam. Ray, over there. Thank you. There is no 1-year warranty on that because we did not have a contract to do it. So sorry, we will not honor. If it breaks, don't bring it back to Ralph Inouye. We don't know. With that, thank you all very much for helping us celebrate a truly, once in a lifetime maybe for some of us, but Ralph Inouye's 100th birthday. We hope to be celebrating a few more birthdays with you in the coming years. Thank you all again, and please stay and enjoy the fellowship. We see a lot of retirees from Ralph Inouye in the audience that we haven't seen in a while, so please stay and enjoy each other's company. Thank you very much. Drive home safe.
I just want to thank Michael, who always steps up to MC these programs, and you know, he's really good at it because he just started planning this at 5 o'clock yesterday, asking me all about what my dad did over his history. But you know, he always does a good job, and I just want to thank him for it.